operation. Some of you are online and some of you are here physically. The meetings will require a quorum, and the quorum is by the counting of the committee members who are physically present in the room. And we have a quorum tonight. We have a quorum. Most board members are expected to be physically present in the room unless there's some medical reason that they cannot be here, and that excuses them from participating physically, and they are here virtually. And we encourage members of the public who want to participate and watch what's going on also to be here virtually. And the full policy is on our website. And remind everybody, as Nellie said before and sent out the announcement, we're being recorded. And we have a YouTube channel. We're on a YouTube channel. Okay. We have an agenda tonight of 8 items on the agenda. My name is Bert Lazarin. I am the co-chair of the committee. To my left is
I am Frank Alzubia, the other co-chair.
and going around the room here.
Ted Arenas, member. Greg Morris, member.
Candace Hewitt, member.
Tina Nelson, member.
Wendy Gonzalez, member. Amy Chenko, member.
And we have on virtually a member. Mike?
Oh, yeah, Mike Noble, member. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, Mike. Okay. For those of you who are not familiar with our process, we meet here at the committee. We make a recommendation to the full board. What we decide to do, what stipulations we insist on, we make a recommendation to the full board. The full board meets the first Wednesday of the month. And this coming up September, that will be September 6th. And the full board then either adopts our recommendations, modifies them, whatever the situation is, and sends it on to the state liquor authority. They are the ones and only who have the responsibility and the authority, the legal authority to issue liquor licenses. And hopefully the stipulations that we ask for become part of the liquor license for the applicant. Okay? And our agenda, we organize our agenda by groups of applicants. So our first group is alterations in the existing liquor license. And tonight we have 2 applicants in that category. Item number 1 is 10 Hudson Yards, also known as 501 West 30th Street. Okay, it's in the hall, the food hall of Hudson Yards, and it's an alteration, a conversion from a wine and beer only license to a full liquor license. Okay. Is the applicant and or their lawyer here?
I'm here. This is Phil Dorn, attorney for the for Hudson Hall. A, I want to make sure my client is here as well, and B, I would just like to correct you, Bert, because it's not quite a conversion from beer and wine. It's a little different. But before we get started, I just want to make sure Madeline Maldonado is here.
I see how you're going to correct though. I apologize.
No, that's all right. I'm happy to clear
It's
the.
the kiosk to the full bar.
I don't see Madeline's name here. Perhaps you guys see her or can promote her. Oh, I see.
Yeah, she's in now. You go over there.
All right, so like I said, my name is Phil Dorn, attorney with Pizetsky and Bookman. With me is Madeline Maldonado. the beverage director for Little Spain over at Hudson Yards. We're here tonight for an alteration application to add beer and wine to 3 already existing food kiosks within the market hall. As you may or may not understand, the entire premises is already licensed for full liquor, the entire hall. So as it stands, customers, for example, they walk up to a kiosk, they get their paella, they then walk over to the bar and grab a drink if they'd like, and then find a seat and enjoy. Now what we're doing is we're looking to convert that paella kiosk along with 2 other kiosks. And at those 3 kiosks, we will serve just beer and wine directly from there. This basically just saves customers a step from having to go from one kiosk then to the bar, which they've indicated a demand for. Because I know it's a little confusing as far as the liquor licensing goes, but because the entire premises is already licensed for full liquor, when adding new bars, they would technically be for full liquor as well. You can't really, have some beer and wine, some full liquor. That is, unless we stipulate with this community board to only serve beer and wine from those kiosks, which we are happy to do. That's what we're seeking to do. This isn't an attempt to add more full liquor bars. There aren't even bar stools at those kiosks. It's really just for convenience for customers to be able to be poured a glass of wine where they are purchasing their food and save a step. One last thing I'll add, which I'm unsure if it made it onto the packet that was submitted, is that we would like to add a service bar outside. You may remember, but we actually came before you around about a year ago to add this service bar, and this committee approved it. Unfortunately, we were unable to file with the SLA within the 9-month window that we're given to file. So we have to come back before you once more to get your stamp of approval. It's just a service bar where staff can prepare drinks to serve customers in the outdoor portion of the premises, but customers are not approaching the bar. They can't be served from that bar, etc. So I just said a lot. I'm happy to field any questions that you might have.
Yeah, Bill, I don't think that outdoor service bar did make it into this application, so I think we're fine voting on it tonight, which will need to sort of revise the paperwork to add it in.
Happily.
Okay, and we need that by August 25th.
Oh, you'll get it tomorrow.
Okay, so you're just gonna add it to this form?
Yeah, well, we'll send an amended packet if that's
That'll include as an additional alteration, adding that.
right.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Anybody from the committee have any questions?
I have a question about their hours. It says 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's the hours of the market hall.
The market hall says it's at 10 a.m. it opens.
Whatever the
10 a.m.
hours.
on Saturday, Sunday, 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, and it closes at 10 p.m. and 11 p.m.
The hours should reflect however late the market hall are open. We're not changing the hours of operation. I believe we were previously approved for those hours, so we're just continuing the prior approval. We're not making any changes. Currently, the market hall closes at 11, but if those hours were to get extended, we were already approved for the later hours, so we would obviously like to keep that opportunity.
Yeah, those are the hours that we approved when the place first opened.
So your hours are in anticipation of the market perhaps at some day extending their hours.
Well, no, they have a lot of street frontage, so they theoretically could be open.
Okay.
And they can open at 4 in the morning and serve food. They can't serve liquor until, what is it, Bill, 10 a.m.?
8 a.m.
Yeah, so the 6 a.m., yeah,
It's their hours.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering if the market is not open yet, so.
right.
Okay. Any additional questions?
Actually, I just have a general question to you guys. When we ask them, since they're planning on adding something to the outside, would we also want a design of that?
Well, we did it, as Phil said, we voted on it a year ago and approved it.
Outside?
Yeah,
Oh.
and they just didn't take it to the, for whatever reason, either the SLA didn't act or they didn't take it, so.
Okay.
Phil, you're gonna do everything consistent with what you submitted to us a year ago or whatever, correct?
Say that again.
On the outdoor bar, it'll be consistent with what you presented to us.
Yeah.
Okay,
And like I said, it's just a service bar.
Okay. Now, is there anybody from the community that has any questions?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Okay. Inga, you have your hand?
Yeah, I just have one thing, on the outdoor seating area, I know we voted on it, I'm fine with it, I just wanna make a note. The signs or lack thereof saying that people can sit there even if they don't purchase anything are almost impossible to find. If you guys could make the signs so that people know they can sit there, even if they don't purchase something.
Absolutely. We're happy to take that effort.
Thank you.
Nellie, on the laptop, I do see somebody with a hand up.
Yes, now there's a raised hand.
Yes.
Winsley?
We're greeting you on
Hi,
mute.
how are you? I'm a resident of the Via 57 building. I've been here for almost 6-7 years. So I do have some questions regarding this venue that's about to open.
wait, sorry, are you talking about a later agenda item?
We're right now on item number 1, which is the 10 Hudson Yards.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, raise your hand when we call that agenda item and we'll.
Will
move you
do.
over.
Thank you, I apologize.
No problem, thank you.
No problem. No problem.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
With the added step that they really put signs up that show people can sit there without purchasing something. Yes, I second that, with that added step, because I think they forgot, thank you.
All those in favor?
Well, wait, just to get the, so Phil, we'll say applicant will post more prominent signs, permitting, non-patron access to outdoor space, right? You okay with that, to outdoor seating?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. So we took that vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed, present not eligible, abstaining. It passes.
Thank you all. A lovely evening at CB4.
Good night.
Take care.
Yeah, Phil. Item number 2 on our agenda is 109 West 14th Street, the new Mercado Incorporated. This is going from, asking for a full liquor license. Okay, is the applicant here? Welcome, Jesse. Applicant lawyer for the new Mercado.
yeah, James, well, he is gonna do that. James, you need to unmute.
Hello, you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Okay, my client is layer 2, but my client try use the computer, they cannot get in. He is on the phone. He is calling.
James, what's the last 3 digits of your client's phone number?
4412.
Okay. Okay, I've given your client permission to speak. He can speak, they can speak now. They just have to.
Okay, yeah, you want me make the presentation? Yes,
You
okay,
could-
so
you
they
can-
want just from, they want to change the class change from a beer and wine, change it to the full liquor. So all of month of operating and hours, just like last year, your board approved. So we have nothing changed, only for the class change from beer wine to full liquor. Yeah, we are here. If you have any question, we can answer.
Great. James, I'm a little confused. Is there any outdoor space at this restaurant?
李先生，你来回答吧。林先生，
You have
你来回答。
Do you have any seating outside?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
No, okay, so I asked my client, I let him answer you. So I don't think so they add the sidewalk outside, no.
No, okay, because on page 6, you said yes, so I'm gonna change that to no outdoor space, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, and then, you didn't circle any music, you want background music, right?
Background, yeah, maybe this typo.
And are you gonna use a storm enclosure? I see you have a vestibule, do you need one of those plastic sheds too?
I think so, yeah, for the winter, yeah, I think so.
Okay, so, will you agree to our usual stipulation by law, they can only stick out 18 inches from the front of the building?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we are,
So anything you use can only, stick out 18 inches.
They have that in their prior one, you added
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Okay. Any questions of the committee? Comments? Anybody from the community, Ally?
There's no one.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Is that second? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
President not eligible?
thank you,
Abstaining. Okay. You're welcome.
thank you, everyone.
Okay, we're moving on to a second category on our agenda. These are new wine, beer, and cider licenses. We have one applicant in this category tonight. 308 West 46th Street. It's actually a theater, Playhouse 46 Incorporated. It's does have the minimum food requirements. And it tends to want to operate 30 minutes before the performance time and 15 minutes during intermission. Okay, is the applicant here?
Yes, I am present. I'm Jennifer Powers.
Hi, Jennifer. Would you like to
Hi.
say something?
Happy to be here. Yeah, it's we just would like to give the courtesy to our patrons the option to get beer and wine. The theater and concessions will only be open for 30 minutes prior to each performance. And not every performance has an intermission, but if they do, we would like to offer it for the 15 minutes that they are in intermission. There is no service post-show, and everyone leaves before 11. So we're on Restaurant Row, and we would just love the courtesy to give to our patrons. Thank you.
thanks, Jennifer. A couple of questions. You circled that you were gonna have live music. I assume that's only live music in the performances themselves?
Yeah, it's only for the musicals that we perform. It's only for professional actors that are going to be singing or, playing live music.
But only in the performances, only in the theater space, not. Yeah,
Correct.
not
Only in theater proper.
Okay, and then, on page 1 of the form, you circled that the 200 and 500 foot rules are applicable. But because you're only seeking a beer and wine license, those rules don't apply. So I'm gonna change those answers to no.
Okay.
If
Thank
that's
you.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? Comments? We usually don't get a theater coming for, this is unusual.
Happy to be here.
Okay, anybody from the community now?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Okay,
Oh, wait, I have one more question, Jennifer. When you said 1 or 2 bars, is that because you may want one in the basement?
There is really only one bar that is inside the theater proper that it will be used for purchase and serving. We are going to have a concessions table that will have like water and soda, and then potentially in the future, knock on wood, when we get VIP patrons, we would like to offer special event pre-show lounge, VIP lounge service. Again, not purchase, just a serving place prior to the show in a specified private lounge prior to showtime.
So the SLA is gonna want you to submit plans showing exactly where the bars are.
Yes, and we are, yes.
So you need to make a choice. In other words, one to 2 bars is an ambiguity they don't like. So should we make your form 2 bars?
Just say one. It's just one bar.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. The others it's literally one bar and maybe one, I don't know if you call it a serving station. It's not a bar.
No, they consider that a service bar.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All
So
right.
I would suggest, if you want to cover yourself, I would suggest we call it 2, and then
Okay.
you submit that on your floor plans to the SLA
Okay.
as a
All right.
second
Thank
bar.
you.
you use it as you choose.
And you don't have to use it, but you'll be approved for
Okay. Happy to clarify.
it. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
Oh, wait, did we, oh, yeah, did the community.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, present not eligible, abstained?
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you, Mike. Okay. Okay, now we're moving into the section of our agenda, which is new liquor, wine, beer, and cider. Liquor licenses, applications, okay. Item number 4, first item in this category is 233 8th Avenue, MIM United Inc. This is on the corner, west side of 8th Avenue and 22nd Street. They're asking for hours of operation, 7 AM to 1 AM, 7 days a week. And they have a capacity of 200. Okay.
Hi, Bert. I'm here for the applicant, Donald Bernstein. I see Igor, my client, is on as well. This is the space that was formerly operated by and licensed to Foragers. They had a restaurant. They also had a small liquor store next to it on 8th Avenue. We're not taking the liquor store space, but we are taking over the space that had been licensed to and operated by Foragers. Igor, who is one of the principal partners, is involved in other restaurants, including one on Havemeyer in Brooklyn and on Amsterdam Avenue in the Upper West Side. So he's got a number of years' experience. It's going to be a full-service restaurant. We gave you the menu, the hours, just to correct you, Bert. It's 7 AM to 1 AM during the week, 2 AM on weekends. The total.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
no problem.
Donald, 2 AM Friday, Saturday?
Yes.
Okay, and 1 AM every other day?
Correct. Right.
Okay.
Yep. The total number of seats are 140 seats at 48 tables indoors, 1 bar with 12 stools. There will be seating outside. We originally planned to have both street bed seating and sidewalk seating. However, we did a fair amount of outreach, including discussing this with the Chelsea West 200 Block Association, and decided with the Block Association not to have any road bed seating, and also reduce the number of seats on the sidewalk. So We amended the application that you've got in the questionnaire, eliminated the roadbed seating, and the sidewalk seating will consist of 21 tables and 42 seats. The sidewalk cafe will close by 10 p.m. during the week and 11 p.m. on weekends. We also have French doors on 22nd Street. I don't recall if they're also on 8th, but those will also close by 10 p.m. during the week and 11 p.m. On weekends.
Is that it, Donald?
Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to add that the plan is to have some live music. Igor can speak to that, but it's principally just some jazz as background that would end by 11 p.m. So it wouldn't be going any later than that. And for DJs, they just want to have the opportunity to have a DJ for brunch.
Okay. So with respect to the 200-foot rule, I see you submitted that helpful form with measurements, but that only uses the door on 8th Avenue, correct?
Yeah, so the door on 22nd Street will be an exit only. There will be no ingress on 22nd Street, either through that door or through the Sidewalk Cafe. So the only way to get in will be to go to the 8th Avenue entrance, which is just as Foragers did or were supposed to do. It is more than 200 feet from the main entrance of the church. There is a secondary entrance to the church that is further closer to 8th Avenue. We've spoken to the church. We've obtained a letter from them where they confirm that that is only for staff. That is not used for ingress. Therefore, that door doesn't count. And Foragers had the same thing, and the State Liquor Authority approved it.
Donald, I thought the doors had to be on the same street to even trigger the rule.
No, the doors don't. The premises do. So if the premises.
Okay.
So if we were mid-block on 8th Avenue and the church was on 22nd, the 200-foot law would not apply. But because our space abuts also goes along 22nd Street, we are deemed to be on the same street as the church. So you've got to measure at a diagonal from door to door.
They'll only measure to a door that can be used to enter.
Has to be only measured to the closest door regularly used for ingress by people going to the church.
Okay. I understand from people who live near there that the Foragers 22nd Street door was regularly used for entering and exiting. Is it possible to make, the 22nd Street door like an emergency exit only to avoid that temptation?
Igor, you have to unmute yourself. There you go.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna put that as just as an exit door. That was our idea. Regardless, and I know the partners used to have a restaurant on that side. Probably that's their main reason why they're used to use that 22nd door. But yes, absolutely.
As an emergency exit only.
Not an exit, emergency only.
Yes. Yeah,
So your
yes.
regular customers, staff, no one will be able to use it unless there's an emergency situation inside, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Donald, I guess let's talk about outdoor seating. What is your understanding about what rules apply to a new sidewalk seating at this point?
That's a good question.
We've been trying to puzzle it through.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the city council is with that. I haven't looked at that within the past week. I think it was just last week or so where they took it up. So.
Well, the city council voted to approve it.
City council has approved it. Mayor has not yet signed it. DOT has not even thought about any rules or regulations.
Right. And then you have the state court injunction saying outdoor dining can't be justified by any emergency order, but it needs a new source of authority. So
I think the only thing we can do is just go along with the existing temporary rules in effect until something changes. till some.
No, the temporary rules are not in effect because the judge enjoined them.
That's the issue right now. The temporary rules are gone. The permanent rules have yet to be implemented and approved, so we're in the middle of nothing.
That's not what I read. The hospitality line said something on this week that they're gonna have it extended and we have to take down the permanent structures by November 2024.
Yes,
No, the judge said, and actually read this, the judge said he was not, that the applicant asked that all structures be taken down immediately. He said he was not doing that. What he was saying was that temporary outdoor dining was only justified by the emergency order, and that is invalid, and he was enjoining any outdoor dining now being justified by the state of emergency, which no longer exists anyway.
Because I was reading that and they were gonna start charging about $1,000.
Right, but the problem is, none of that has been implemented yet, or even signed by the mayor.
mayor has not signed.
So we don't really know, what the parameters are. For example, are we under the, is it gonna be like the old sidewalk cafe rules? Does it have to be, an 8-foot pedestrian clearance, 3-foot service aisle? None of that's been worked out yet.
Yeah. Well, in our, I don't know, in our situation, the landlord's got to do some work in the space before we take it over. So it'll be a number of months before we're in a position to even build out and open. I assume by then we're going to get some clarity. And
All
till
right.
then, I don't know, we're a bit in limbo.
Yeah, the reason I raise this, Donald, is we have a lot of community objections to the sheer amount of even your sidewalk seating. And I gather the 22nd, is it both sidewalks or just 22nd Street
Particularly 27.
is only 14 feet wide.
They're both 14 feet.
They're both 14 feet wide. So if you have the 8-foot pedestrian clearance, that only leaves you 6 feet. And if you work in a 3-foot service aisle, that only leaves you 3 feet for tables. And I guess there are tree pits as well, which I think under every set of rules had to be cleared. So the question is what we do about the outdoor seating now. Do you want to come back when there are rules?
I don't know.
The entire neighborhood very happy.
Yeah,
Well,
one of our committee members.
We did a lot of outreach on this, and the only one we heard of was the Chelsea West 200 Block Association, and they were satisfied with the changes that we agreed to, which was reducing the seating and eliminating the roadbed seating. So I don't know.
Well,
We have other.
the Council of Chelsea Block Associations sent us the letter saying that that the street shed is problematic, so we're grateful you dropped that. But they also say, that your outdoor seating adds almost 50% capacity to your indoor seating. And, they believe that should be scaled back to only a few tables and chairs.
Yeah, I don't, Igor's gonna have to speak to that. I don't know that he's willing to just.
Yes,
scale it back to a few tables and chairs.
Initially, when they said that it was like around 40 in a roadway plus on the sidewalk. So therefore, when we spoke with the Chelsea community, they say it's like, oh, okay, you're gonna get almost 50% addition. After reducing, it's far way less than that. So right now it's like we take off tables from the 8th Avenue left, just 3 tops, and some tables on 22nd without completely removing actually roadway.
And total seats inside, including bar stools, are 152 and only 42 seats outside, so it's not 50%.
So
yes, after reducing. So
are there? I don't know if Nikki knows, or are there tree pits on 8th Avenue and 22nd? Because they're not on your diagram.
There are other obstructions.
And other obstructions like a LinkedIn
Yeah,
kiosk.
there's big obstructions there. On the corner.
So we can't even tell from your diagram whether, you're clearing all the obstructions by 8 feet. In other words, your diagram doesn't have any of the dimensions to allow us to see how the sidewalk's being used.
Because they're saying that your diagram doesn't show if there are any obstructions in the sidewalk, whether there are trees or hydrants or anything else that would impact clearance and the flow of traffic.
I'll have to, yes, I'll have to check with our interior designer that, but I think she put it everything, but yes, I'll have to double check with that because she was.
I mean, that would
kind
be
of
very
worried.
helpful. Also, I mean, just my instinct for me, and I'm speaking for myself, is I don't feel comfortable saying yes, no, too much, too little, move it to the left, move it to the right, until I know the context within which I am making those conditions as stipulations, because we don't have any context yet. We don't have any rules and regs for any outdoor seating yet. We had what we had, which is gone, and what's coming, we don't have yet. I could see voting on the license to the interior, but nothing yet to the outside.
Well, but I think, look, that's the seating we would like to have. Whenever this gets cleared up, there's going to be some permitting process. There's going to be something in effect, however long that takes. I assume it's going to be resolved fairly soon because the city can't have this as an open-ended issue that can go on endlessly. So we know what we're looking for. And it's going to be guided by whatever the final guidelines are. If they said they can't have outdoor seating, we can't have outdoor seating. If it says you go to DOT, we go to DOT. If it says DCA, we'll go back to DCA. Whatever it's going to be, there's going to be something. There's going to be some permitting process.
Yeah,
So
but Donald,
we're telling you how we're going to operate it and how many we're going to have, and it will fit within whatever licensing and permitting structure there is.
Okay, we have some other
yeah,
committee members.
just one thing, but Donald, as you know, as long as I've been doing this, we've always carefully looked at floor plans of outdoor seating to look at obstructions, and even if they're permitted, we sometimes ask applicants to remove a table or two if we know the blocks well. So you're asking us to sort of do this, sort of in the dark, really. And we do know that there are community organizations that are opposed to the amount you're proposing, even with just the sidewalk. But there are other people here.
There are other people on the committee now, Inga?
Yeah, speaking as the president of the London Terrace Tenants Association, we agree with our neighbors. We're on 23rd Street that we're not happy with the sidewalk, and we're concerned about the live music just because that space is all glass and it's not insulated at all. But the biggest concern is the sidewalk seating. I'm also vice president of the Chelsea Council Block Associations, and I was happy to send that letter. So there are two I've spoken with the 22nd Street Block Associations, and I know they're still uncomfortable with this. And there's no diagram. We couldn't vote on an outdoor cafe, so I could not vote on the outdoor aspect personally.
Anybody else on the committee comment? Questions?
I can comment. I would be okay voting with the outdoor seating. And just have them be able to abide by what the rules are. I looked on the diagram and they do have one tree pit, and I would probably ask them to remove two or three of the tables where the tree pit is. The kiosk on the other side, it basically what they're talking about, as long as they have two tables. So I think that would be within, what we would do.
What page we can't find it.
Oh, I went to Google Maps.
Oh,
And I looked right, it's right here.
there's
one
the tree,
tree
there's
here.
the tree.
So this is about 3 of their seat tables. And we know that they're gonna have some sort of formal outdoor seating. I think the real problem that we have here is just the amount that the neighbors have. And also the sound probably going in and out from live music, and I don't see any vestibules. So that would be the other thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean.
No seating on 24th.
I would have most of their seatings on 22nd.
I mean 22nd,
I
no
mean,
seating.
Because there's both of these a tree pit on 22nd.
There's a tree pit right here in one of their windows, which is about right next door to the opening.
Is that 22nd or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So they're gonna lose a lot of tables.
they're gonna lose probably 1, 2, 3, 4 of the tables here.
Well, you gotta clear 8 feet from
Yeah,
every edge of the tree.
I think from your ears, literally,
Yeah, but I mean, that's,
that's probably half of their seating.
yeah.
yeah.
Anybody,
I have a question. So we're telling them to close out the two doors on 22nd, to close those and make those emergency exits. So we're asking them just, they're gonna have to serve food out here to go through the whole middle of the rest, like it just, if we're making it in that one entrance for them to go in and out.
Yeah, but they legally, even staff cannot legally go in that 22nd Street door.
Yeah, Frank, on that exit, if we need a secondary means of egress, I'm not sure we can make that emergency only. We have to just check on that. So we'll do it if it's legal. If it has to be used as an exit, we're not gonna be able to do that.
Okay, but you have at least two members of this committee who live very near there, and if anyone is going in, including staff, it's gonna be a problem.
Well, that I think we can commit to not doing. It can't be used as an entrance.
Well, Forages did the same thing, that's why we,
Well, that's not Igor.
didn't abide by that.
The temptation is gonna be huge,
Yeah.
particularly for staff to use it regularly.
Yeah, and it's a side street, there are no sidewalk, it's a side street, it's a residential side street, basically.
And there's no sound report of any, I mean, they're still building, but like that one door is gonna be their egress and.
On Eighth Avenue.
It's on Eighth Avenue, but.
And it's gonna be farther, because Forgers was on the corner, so they're gonna move the door down towards the wine shop.
Where the market was,
Right.
they're gonna go through the market.
I don't see how they're gonna get. I think we should not, I can't vote yes, with the sidewalk, with the outdoor, until we know exactly where you're.
Well, let's do this one at a time. Are people okay with the door on 22nd?
Emergency only.
But if it can't be, if they legally need a second exit, can we say that any doors won't be used, will not be used in regular business, will not be used by patrons or in the regular course of business?
Yeah, we walk by every day, we'll see it, we saw it with
You're
Forgers.
talking about for ingress?
Yeah, we don't want you using it for egress either. I mean, we wanted a de facto emergency exit, even if it can't be illegal.
I think that's okay. I think that's okay. My only caveat was if for some reason by law, it has to be a secondary means of egress that is not emergency only. And I don't know, I'm not an architect. I don't know the answer to that. I don't want to agree to something that would then be contrary to law by saying emergency exit only. If there's no problem and we can make an emergency egress only, and that satisfies the secondary means of egress requirement, which it may, then I think we're okay with that. We're fine with that.
Okay, this is what I'm suggesting, Donald. Door on West 22nd will be strictly used as an emergency exit only to the extent permitted by law. In any event, any doors on West 22nd Street will not be used by patrons or staff as in the regular course of business.
I'm sorry, say that second part again?
Will not be used by patrons or staff in the regular course of business.
Unless by law it has to be used available as an exit.
Now, the second door issue, Donald, is always just
You're right.
for an emergency situation. You don't have to have two doors, that are always open, right, Ted?
I mean, from my experience, it's only in a fire department for egress is the emergency to get people out.
Right.
Yeah, then that's fine. As long as that's what the rules are, that's fine. But I don't know the answer to that. Maybe Ted probably knows more than I do about that, but I don't know the answer to that. I just don't want to say that it can only be emergency exit only if my client's architect then tells me that if he does that, he can't have more than 74 people in his place.
Well, no, but what we're saying is you can, in that case, you can have it as a door, but you are agreeing particularly that your staff will not use it to serve. Yeah.
Staff, that's fine. I think that's okay. Igor, that okay?
Yep.
Staff and patrons won't go in and out.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's fine. That's
Very
good.
too long, but it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think the other thing we're hearing is noise, before we get to the outdoor space, is noise leakage. So you want to put in French doors, which you know we don't like. But you're agreeing that they're gonna be closed whenever there's any kind of amplified sound inside, right?
So Igor, what they're saying is that anytime you have music inside, they want
Or
the French,
TVs.
they want the French doors closed. So if
And
you
you
want the
said
French
yes.
doors, so if you want the French doors open, they don't want any amplified music playing inside at all, whether it's recorded, live, DJ or anything.
Understood. So you do, but if it's all just live jazz, like without like amplifiers, just live jazz, that's okay or no?
Any music at all, any music.
If you can hear the music on the sidewalk, it's illegal. So what we're trying to do is just make it objective, some way to prevent that from happening.
Understood.
Any music at all.
So, in fact, one of the block associations wrote that your operation Reset in Brooklyn has jazz concerts on the sidewalk, which are not allowed. So basically, what has to happen is if you have music inside or any kind of amplified sound, the doors have to be closed. And they have to be closed at 10 and 11 p.m. period, no matter what.
Even if it's just people talking.
And that's what you agreed to on our SIP form. I was just making sure you understood it.
Yes. Okay.
Anybody else from the committee? Because I see there are 3 people in the community who have their hand raised.
I wanted to know where the DJ was gonna be and the live music, because if they're gonna have that in the main floor, then they should have a vestibule. And depending on how late it's gonna be, if the door opens and they have a loud DJ, then it's gonna be going out the front door.
So for DJ, yes, so for DJ, we are just thinking on Saturday, Sunday brunch. That was our idea. Even for live music, we are not the type of restaurant that we wanna push like Friday, Saturday, make a party, none of that. We wanted those like soft jazz, just kind of to hear music in the background, people enjoy it on slow nights, like Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's our idea. In Brooklyn, yes, we did put in the street because like neighbors were doing it and everybody enjoying it. They were like completely fine with that. And that's how we play with it. You know, on Upper West Side, we had for like all years we have been operating. Recently, we added one night in a week, not even every week. And that was like inside again, 2 or 3 people, smooth jazz, nothing crazy. It's not about like, let's make a party. So it's more kind of, you feel that, you know, in background music, you enjoy it, you like the show, but it's not like those people going on the street and going crazy. So that's our.
You currently are asking for the live music and DJ from 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, Sunday. You know, can we narrow that down some?
Well, for you know, as I said, the only reason why we wanted on Saturday, Sunday, it was like, okay, probably we're gonna do DJ Saturday, Sunday for a few hours, maybe in a brunch, but like, okay, let's decide this week, maybe we can change it. Let's not put the DJ, let's put some softer jazz. So we are not kind of doing cross, oh no, we cannot do that. That's the only reason why we put it. And at the night, usually we are doing it from 7 to 10, maybe from, you know, that's kind of what we initially wanted. Sometimes 3 hours, sometimes is, you know, 4 hours, but that's usually in the slower nights, because like on busy nights, it's just extra cost for something that, you know, we're going to be full regardless.
I think that if you can come up with hours that were earlier and even earlier with that outdoor seating, that it might appease the community a little bit more. And make them a little bit less frightened about the volume of tables you have. Or should you just cut out some of the ones by the tree plant?
Well, listen, why don't we hear from the community? We have at least 2 open issues.
Yeah, 3 people.
One question about their French doors, they go in or out?
Well, yeah, and I see you have you're keeping the old doors, so you have French doors, egress and exit on 22nd. So you're not getting rid of the other entrance that was already there, so you're gonna have 3 entrances?
Well, if you said the 22nd is an exit, liquor store is not anymore. We are not taking that. Liquor store stays with hotel.
On your diagram, you have French doors, and then towards the corner, not towards the liquor store, you have the other entrance. 8th Avenue. On 8th Avenue.
Yeah, we have 2 entrances on 8th Avenue, and we have that exit. French doors are like, instead of that glass, we're gonna keep the glass, but you're just gonna be kind of French door to.
Don't know, I would want French doors. That's just to lead out onto the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I think the French doors are probably just to be open to the sidewalk, because they have an entrance right next to the French doors.
Well, let's hear from the community. then.
Kelly, did you bring those 3 people who have their hands up?
First, we have Rachel and then Mary.
Okay.
Rachel, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Rachel.
Okay, great. Thank you all to the volunteers who manage the community board and this committee. I really appreciate it. I've lived in Chelsea since 1998. I've lived on 22nd Street since 2002. I know foragers. I know the space before it was even foragers. So my kids went to PS 11, which is on 21st Street, which is around the corner. I'm not sure if the panelists or the owner is aware, but there are kids and families that are walking up and down 8th Avenue, that very block to the subway in the morning and at pickup and even after school at 4:30, at 6 o'clock, kids all day long. So you just need to know that. And I hope that as a new member of the community that you will do the right thing and you will be upstanding citizens and role models for our children in the community. That's number 1. I understand you're open for lunch. And so people will be seeing you and you'll be setting up, and that's important. Number 2, you mentioned, Igor, that you did a lot of outreach to the community. I'm a member of the 300 Block Association. I get all the emails. I didn't get any. The only email I got was about tonight, and that's why I made an effort to show up. I'm very grateful to the London Terrace Association for stepping up and being here. I join you in my concerns about noise. I live down the block on 22nd Street, the 300s, and there's never been anything on those 4 corners that's been open past like 11 p.m. So I get very scared.
What's your block association?
300 Block Association.
It's called the 300 Block Association?
I'm not sure exactly what it's called.
All right,
300 West 22nd.
We sent an email to about 8 block associations, 300 West 20th, 300 West 19th, 300 West, all of them.
That's great. And I'm really glad that you did that. But I'm just saying, again, we're all volunteers, we're residents. So this is not our profession. And so we're not paid to do this. So the fact that maybe your email for your application did not get to us, it's just, we're humans and we didn't get to it. But I'm just saying that people on my block are not necessarily aware. The hours are concerning. I did a quick search on Google, and all the other restaurants that I can see that are between 23rd and 19th Street all closed by 10 p.m. There's one restaurant called Jungle Bird that's down on 8th Avenue that closes at 2 a.m. So we're talking between 19th and 23rd and probably up through like 25th Street, or I don't know, maybe, I don't know about BBQ, but that's open really late and we're not used to that. So you need to know that. And that's why you're hearing all the pushback. So I definitely have concerns about the hours and the noise. I think the committee's done a great job with expressing the concern regarding noise. And I trust your professional expertise as it relates to glass and all of the technical aspects of why the noise is particularly a concern. So yes, I also would, yes, I think that's all I have to say at this point, but I wish you luck and I hope that you'll be a really upstanding citizen to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Nellie, the second person? No.
Mary is next.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate everything that Rachel said. I too am a resident on the next block down. I live at 21st in the 300 block. And my concern, I was very relieved to hear the board members discussing the sidewalk seating, because the original plan of 50 seats on 8th Avenue and 20 seats or 22 seats on 22nd Street or 30, whatever it was, even pulling that back, I looked at it, I stood on that corner and just thought, where on earth could you put that many seats in this amount of space without completely blocking the entire sidewalk with that link kiosk that's there on 8th Avenue, and even taming it back to 21 tables, 21 two tops for 42 seats seems a wildly outrageous number of seats that could be accommodated in that space. And I wasn't even sure what about the 8-foot pedestrian allowance. It just seems wild to me. Too many seats. It's just, I don't know how pedestrians would be able to pass with that many streets on either 8th Avenue or 22nd. And that was really my main concern. All of these other issues, I think, are germane to the neighborhood. But I too have lived here. I've lived on this street since 1981, so I've seen this neighborhood go through a lot of changes. 42 seats on that corner, I just don't see how that could be humanly possible for people to still be walking on the street. And I thank you for the opportunity to say so.
Okay. Anybody else out there, Nellie?
Yes, we have Jasenko.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm the president of the West 200 Chelsea Association. We are across the street, basically across 8th Avenue. So just to start on a positive note, the applicant did reach out to us, and we wrote a letter expressing our concern about the size of the outdoor cafe and the shack. The shed was a big issue for us, and they did call us back. Now, it was somewhat misstated what actually was what happened during that phone conversation. The one concession that we did get was the 8th Avenue seating. So basically lowering it from 3 4-tops to 3 2-tops. And that has to happen because there is another obstacle there, and that is the Link NYC tower, which further narrows those 14 feet that you have on 8th Avenue. And we could all agree that that's quite a busy sidewalk. Now, when it came to 22nd Street seating, so there was, the shed was, after we finished this phone call, Milyenko, I didn't talk to Igor, I talked to Milyenko. He said that the applicant's intention was still to apply for the shed. And I just expressed, I did not say that, I still think there's too many seats on 22nd Street, but that a good compromise would be to get rid of the shed, because the shed would really narrow the 22nd Street. There is a city bike station across the street. You would really get a really narrow bottleneck on 22nd Street for the traffic, and also unsafe conditions for the bikes being pulled out of the station. So now my understanding from this conversation is that the applicant has given up on the shed. However, my concern is that there would be a kind of a 2-track system that they could apply for this shed I don't know what the regulations are going to be, if the community is going to even have an input when these, DOT or whoever decides on, the new rules. So this is our one chance to have some input, and the shed is a big no-go for us. And of course, I would also like to see further reduction of the seating on the 22nd Street, not I, but the whole community. Now, when it comes to live music, it's not, the problem is sometimes what's agreed upon and what actually really happens. The applicant owns the Reset in Brooklyn, and they have not just live music, they have live music on the sidewalk. They have jazz concerts that turn into block parties, into dance parties on the block. And so that used to happen also in Chelsea. It's a big disruption. The applicant told me, well, Chelsea, we are aware that Chelsea is a different kind of neighborhood that Williamsburg is. I really don't know who decides what kind of neighborhood something is. I know that this is against the rules in Brooklyn as well, what they are doing in Brooklyn. So there is an example where the rules are being broken, and we just need to make sure that rules are not broken once this is approved here either. So I asked the applicant if they could actually specify how many concerts and events and when exactly. I have not seen that tonight. I think it's kind of left pretty open-ended. So that's basically, I think that's all I have to say.
If I may add it,
Well, wait,
as you spoke with,
one second. Nellie, do we have anyone else from the community?
No, there's no one else.
Okay, so I just wanted to add, as you probably saw in the Dropbox, we did get an email in support of the application from someone who lives on the 300 block of West 22nd Street, basically just saying they're writing in support.
So I have a question again on the doors. So the French doors, if you look at the diagram, they open and you can't walk in. They're just for opening to let the sound out.
Well, to let circulation in. It's not intended to let sound out, but I understand what you're saying. It's not an entrance.
Yeah, so it's not an entrance, it's just to open up, music noise spills out onto the sidewalk. Basically, that's what happens with the French doors.
Where's the main entrance?
Yeah, I don't understand what the main entrance is that's next to the French doors.
The hosted stand.
Yeah, the hostess stand is by the other entrance that's already there. So you literally got 4 entrances.
Where's the fourth one?
It's next to the French door.
There's 2 on 8th Avenue and
there's 3 on 8th Avenue. If you look, there's the main entrance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the French doors, the regular entrance to the hostess table.
Where's the regular,
What happens again?
we have main entrance and egress.
So there's the main entrance
Yeah.
here. Where does that go? And then you've got French doors, and then you've got the entrance that's
Right.
already there, and then you've got this.
Oh, I thought you said there's a third one on 8th Avenue.
Well, 1,
2.
2 French doors are an
Oh, I
entrance.
see,
They're
okay.
doors, they're not windows. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
And
I
what
don't
is
know.
this?
I'm not sure where you're seeing those. I see a main entrance on 8th Avenue.
Yeah, French doors, which is the
Yeah,
door,
basically what Inga's saying is,
they're doors.
if that wall between what you have labeled the main entrance and egress is French doors, it's essentially an entirely open facade.
Okay, I didn't notice, but we just noticed there are 2 more sets of French doors on 22nd Street.
Yeah, that whole wall,
All French doors.
Yeah.
Doors instead. That's what that would they won't get around to
There are church patrons there. I don't, French doors are just to let sound out. And to make the sidewalk come into your restaurant,
Yeah.
basically. I don't know, I can't.
Well,
Yeah.
the doors on 22nd are not an entrance. I
One
think
second.
Oh, hold on now, please.
A couple of people mentioned, or were concerned about community outreach, and thankfully we have viewing it here, but I'm curious, did you post regarding this meeting anywhere to let neighbors or people in the building know about this meeting?
Hold on, I'm just getting to the outreach documents. We sent emails to about 30 or 40 associations, buildings. The
No,
list-
Tina was asking about the physical posting of signs.
Right.
No.
Other than just on the doors that are there
They don't have
now, did you
anything
post
next.
anywhere else in the neighborhood?
Igor, did you post anywhere in the
No.
neighborhood or not?
No, we posted on the doors.
Just the doors, right, so. I just don't know that everyone realizes what's happening.
Yeah, that's my concern, and they're already,
Well, we also have, we have some pretty serious opposition from
Yeah,
even the 200 block association, who was happy with the concession, still has concern. We heard the 300 block association does, the Council of Chelsea Block Association still,
London
and
Terrace.
London Terrace does.
And we have another person from the community who has a hand raised.
Okay, why don't we hear from the. Now, can you move over the,
Diane,
If I may add for regarding the French doors, I see
one
a lot
second,
of,
we just want to hear from all the community members first.
Diane Lazarus, want to raise, your muted.
Thank you.
You're muted, Diane.
There we go. I just
Okay.
say I live on the 300 block of West 22nd Street, actually at 22nd and 9th. And although we do not have clear representation on the community board, which is probably why you don't see 300 West 22nd, we do have a lot of people that communicate with one another, either in person or by email. So many people on our block are aware of the restaurant opening, and we were aware of the sidewalk seating, and we were aware of the sheds. I can't speak for anyone, but I am on the board of my building, and I feel like I can speak for that we were not for the sheds, but that appears to be something that's been discussed by the 200 block West 22nd Street board and agreed to, sounds like to me, from the owners and their lawyer, that we won't have a shed. When Foragers was open, they did have sidewalk tables. I couldn't tell you exactly how many, but they were 2 tables along the 22nd Street side. They did not have tables on the 8th Avenue side, and the 22nd Street side did not impede egress to the restaurant. Most people that I know are very happy that space will be taken up by a restaurant. Our main concern, like I said, was the street shed. And now that I know that the amount is going to also be lowered, not just on the street shed, but on the, in general, the amount of tables will be lowered. I would be in favor, and I think from what I understand from people in my building, we would be in favor of it. Let me just say that I do a lot of work on the block, both with the tree pits, with cleaning. I communicate with a lot of people on the block, and we, generally speaking, would be happy to have a restaurant as long as we know. And also, Foragers occasionally had a jazz band. We did not hear any noise from it, but it was a very low key 2 or 3 piece combo on a Saturday night, which I don't ever remember being disturbed by. So just to give you a slightly other perspective, again, no shed, that's great with us. Smaller amounts on the sidewalk, that would be great. But other than that, I think we would very much be in favor of having that space occupied and having a restaurant in it.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having this meeting.
Did you raise your hand again?
Oh, she's spoken.
Yeah, okay.
Can we hear Igor address the French doors?
Yes, Igor, you want to be in the middle saying something?
Regarding the French doors, our interior designer, we were like, we have a French door on Upper West Side, and people just love it. All neighbors always coming and saying how they love it, because music that we play over there is as it's a low key. It's not sound. We don't want to put like live music. This is not type of restaurant that's gonna be let's make a party. This is French modern American with some like also Mediterranean cuisine. We want to bring this something new to the neighborhood. We want to be part of the neighborhood, and it's not our idea to, you know, make a party and go against anyone around. So far on Upper West Side, we operate there for 4 years. Since day one, we have French doors. They were being there, and people love it. And they're like, "Oh, we couldn't wait for you to open," because that whole block also over there was just like empty for years, and it was like big problems. And you know, we've been in the industry. I used to work in 3 Michelin restaurant, so we want to bring something new. French doors are just something that when you walk by, oh, okay, I can see what's going on. I want to see that open kitchen. I want to see people. Let's stop by tomorrow. It's more as a kind of, okay, we are open for everybody. It's not like we are closed, oh, white cloth table, we are scared to get in. We want to be approachable. We want to be neighborhood restaurant. That's our goal. And that's what French door means to us. It's not about like, let's make a party so everybody can be around and dance. That never happened on Upper West Side as well. We just similar concept over there is kind of wooden, so pretty much that's why when we are looking this space in the first place. That's regarding or in music. And
Thank you, Igor. Any additional comments from the committee? Questions? There is Jessica.
No, sorry.
Well, I think,
Where are we?
so we got two serious issues. I guess the first is the sidewalk seating and how we deal with it in the absence of regulations or even a floor plan. There seem to be 2 ways we could go. One, we could just insist as a condition of any kind of approval of this, that they remove the sidewalk seating and come back when there are regulations. The other would be to say that any sidewalk seating has to comply with X, Y, and Z. They've already agreed to the 10 and 11 closed. We could say they would have to be 8-foot clearance from any tree pit, from the LinkedIn sign, from any other obstructions. And they agree obviously to comply. In addition, they'll agree to comply with any regulations when they are, any additional regulations when they are issued. That I think will reduce this, and no barricades,
And if they comply with the 8 feet unobstructed, that will more than likely reduce the number of tables and seats on the
Well, you
street.
need 8 feet and a 3-foot service side,
Mhm.
so you need 11 feet.
So they will not be able to have 42 seats.
Right, so Igor, just so you understand it and to
Oh, wait,
reiterate, so I think.
Donald, before you talk to Igor, committee member, could.
I would be more comfortable having them come back for the sidewalk once we have a diagram and know what they want, but. I mean.
Well, they'll still have to submit a diagram before full board to show that it complies with whatever, but if they would agree to all that, would people be okay?
I would be okay with voting for it and have them just resubmit with the 8-foot clearance from where the tree pit is, because I think that's gonna cut off all the tables. It's gonna cut them down to half, and even the 2 tops, I don't think on it.
And there's the LinkedIn side too.
Right.
Yeah.
Which Frank, by the way, we did for Kobe Levy. We did the same thing that you want us between committee and full board to revise the plan and agree to reduce the seating.
So it looks like, so what we want is, 8 feet, on the sidewalk, 8-foot clearance, pedestrian clearance, 3-foot service aisle. And then 8 feet clearance from tree pits, LinkedIn sign,
Any
and
obstruction.
any other obstruction.
And once you make those
No
calculations
barricades.
for the street, I would like to know, we would all like to know, then how many tables?
Well, yeah.
seats
Yeah.
result?
We would need to do floor plans by August 25th. And also, as Inga just said, we wouldn't want any obstructions, barricades, whatever you call those things, railings.
Planters.
Dividers, planters.
divider
Yeah,
things.
so Igor, what they're saying is that they want to see, if they approve this tonight, and we'll have to see what they do, they're going to want to see between now and the full board on August 25th, a more precise detailed plan of the outdoor seating with measurements, and any tables that you may have within 8 foot of any obstructions on the sidewalk, they'd want you to remove those tables and chairs. So as we're sitting here tonight, you're probably looking at a reduction. We don't know how many tables or chairs. It could be significant. It could be a small number. I don't know. I don't know if you know, but if they go that route, that's what it would be. So you're looking at something less than what you're proposing tonight, which you may have no choice because, you know, the regulations do restrict how close you can be and how much clearance you have to have. The only caveat I would like to add, Frank, to what you're putting on the table is, you know, we don't know if there may be required to be some barrier. When DCA issued sidewalk cafe permits, the SLA, well, you're shaking your head no, but we got to follow the law. So if the law is that you have to have some barrier or railing, we have no choice but to put it up.
Well, Don, we've gone through this regularly, and people are comfortable. There's always going to be this tension from the SLA wanting enclosures and DCA not wanting them, the community boards not wanting them. But we have had people regularly agree on the avenues in particular, not have them so that the space can essentially be shared.
Okay, so we'll agree to that.
Okay.
And then they reach no shed, even if they're approved.
Right.
We're not gonna go for sheds.
So you're gonna.
Shed is out of
So even if,
discussion.
yeah, so shed is out of the question.
We're not gonna even apply, even if they have allowed us as we speak right now. I know that community from 200s, they're also, it wasn't clear on a phone call, but no, we're not gonna go for shed, period.
And then you realize that all those beautiful French doors have to be closed whenever you have any sound inside. Any jazz, any background music, anything that we can hear on the sidewalk. All the French doors have to be closed.
Yeah, anytime we have live music, we have to close the French doors
Not-
or DJ.
Igor, they're not saying live music or DJ. They're saying anytime you have any music, background recorded music, they're telling you that that's what they
The
want.
doors have to be closed.
On the French doors, can we ask for them not to put it on the residential side and have it just on the avenue side? Because that's gonna eliminate the, I mean, we're gonna have to now talk about the vegetables for them going in and out, they are gonna have sound. But that at least eliminates that part, so we're not having.
Oh, we can ask them. So, so the question was whether you would agree not to have French doors on the side street, on 22nd Street.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna, I'll go back with our designer and see what they can.
Well, no, this,
He didn't agree.
he said to see what they say.
Well, would you be able to give us an answer by the 25th of this
Yes.
month? Okay.
Well, how can we go?
Yeah, how can we go with that?
Now, with no French door, you can't promise.
Hope we get an answer.
Well, if they say they still want them.
We can have a vote that's contingent upon
Oh,
the answer we would like.
No, yeah, thank you.
And then if we get an answer, they say no, it goes to the full board and we'll talk about it.
Okay,
That's the way I would go.
and then they're still gonna keep that door on 22nd Street closed.
Yeah, we have that scheduled. So the only other thing I can think of is, do we want some, we often have limits on live music, like number of performers, or that it will be unamplified. Does anyone care about that, or are we more concerned with getting rid of the French doors?
I think more of the French doors, because, I mean, you can play a drum that's unamplified and you can hear it.
Yeah, okay.
So.
All right, so I think where we are, and I'll read all the steps, but it sounds like on the French doors, where we are is that we're gonna vote to recommend approval so long as the French doors are removed on 22nd Street. And if you want to go forward with them, the committee's gonna recommend denial.
At the full board.
At the full, well, yeah, the recommendation will become a denial if you are sticking with the French doors.
Could you give us an answer by the 25th?
Okay, understood.
All right, so let me summarize on this now. All right. There'll be no roadbed seating. An applicant agrees not to seek roadbed seating in the future. Door on West 22nd Street will strictly be used as an emergency exit only to the extent permitted by law. In any event, any doors on West 22nd Street will not be used by patrons or staff in the regular course of business. There'll be an 8-foot clearance from all tree pits, linked-in signs, and all other obstructions on sidewalks. There will be an 8-foot pedestrian clear path and a 3-foot service aisle on all sidewalks. Applicant will submit revised floor plans showing all outdoor seating and sidewalk obstructions no later than August 25th. I think we just say there'll be no French door, our vote is there'll be no French doors on 22nd Street. And you'll let us know if you agree to that by the 25th. And if you want to go forward with French doors on 22nd Street, our vote is a denial.
Okay, do I?
Well, wait, Donald, you agree to all that?
Yeah, yes. Igor, do you agree to all that? Yep.
Yes.
So do I hear a resolution incorporating all of that?
Motion, second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, present not eligible, abstained. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
All right, everybody. Good night. Thank you.
Good, we appreciate
Yeah.
you're being
and
flexible
you want a
on
Restaurant there.
all these community concerns. Thank you.
So we're happy.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, see you at full board. Okay, moving on, our next item number 5 is 615 9th Avenue, West 615 Enterprises Incorporated. Okay, they're proposing hours of operation 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. Friday through Sunday. Okay. Applicant? Lawyer? Combo? 615 9th Avenue? Present?
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
you're here. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing, sir? Yes, I'm the president of the store, but my attorney, he cannot log in the meeting for some reason. But can you guys give her some the permission for the last phone number 6381? He can listen, but he cannot talk right now.
Nellie?
Yeah,
What's the last numbers of her phone?
I gave permission.
6381.
Okay,
She
there
has.
we are.
Hi.
You have.
Good evening, everyone. Aurelia Tavares, the representative for West 615 Enterprises, Inc., doing business as Craft Hero, located on 615 9th Avenue. The cross streets are West 43rd Street and West 44th Street. I'm here with Jian Yang, the owner. This is going to be, it was previously a Chinese restaurant. This is going to be a Chinese restaurant with early closing hours. They'll be operating from 11:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. and at latest 11 p.m. on the weekends. This is a maximum occupancy of 45, 28 seats at a table with 8 seats at the bar. This is a small restaurant, tiny actually, no outdoor dining. We're asking for a full liquor license. Basically, this location will be serving Asian food. Our owner is on the phone for any questions regarding the menu or the fare or the method of operation. We're asking for recorded music only. It's a restaurant all the way around.
Okay, so I just want to make sure you understand what we mean by closing hours. When you say you're closing at 10 and 11, that means that all patrons have to be gone by then. It's not your last reservation. It's not when the kitchen closes. All your patrons have to be off the premises by your closing time. Is that 10? Do you still want that to be 10 and 11, or would you like it to be a little later?
Can we do midnight all the way around? And that would be, they'd probably be exiting the client starting at 11. If they stay open that late, everyone. If they stay open that late.
All right. Yeah, so we're okay with midnight, so we'll change your closing hours to midnight every night. And then the only other question I had is on page 5 of the form, we asked if you plan any changes to the existing facade, and you said yes. Are you changing the facade in some way?
Only to add the name.
Okay, so when you already say that, oh, I see, change the sign, okay. So that's change the sign only, okay. And we had the prior people stipulate that there would be no use of the rear yard by patrons or staff. And the rear yard, and I think there's a door to the rear yard that you only use for emergencies. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody from the
Committee, questions, comments?
Looks great.
Looks great, that's a comment.
That is a comment. Looks great.
And we have anybody from the community now?
No, there's no one.
Okay, so just to summarize, the closing hours are now going to be midnight, 7 days. The only changes to the facade are going to be changing the signage. And there'll be additional steps. There'll be no use of the rear yard by patrons or staff. And any door to the rear yard will be used only for emergencies. Applicant, are you okay with all of that?
Yes, we're fine with that, Chair.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you for being so gracious, everyone. Have a good
Haven't
evening.
voted?
I still have to vote.
Haven't voted yet.
Oh.
Is a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Okay.
President eligible and abstaining, it passes.
Unanimously. Good luck.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night. Okay. Item number 6 on our agenda is 629 57th Street, City Tavern and Table LLC. Operation hours 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Okay, applicants? Lawyer?
Yes. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Good evening. My name is Frank Polesto, and I am a 30-year business associate of Mr. Chris Coco, who unfortunately is in South Africa, attending to some family business, so he is unavailable this evening. I'm speaking on his behalf. We also have our acting general manager, Craig Hudson, on the call as well.
So would you like to say something?
I'm sorry?
So would you like to say something about your application?
Yes, we are intent on a full-service restaurant serving the community. We are taking over what was a pre-existing restaurant space, and we think it would be a great addition to the neighborhood.
Okay. Any questions from Craig? Do you want to say anything? You see your hand is raised.
You mean,
You're muted, Craig. Seems to be still muted. I think you're approaching some kind of sound, Craig. Okay. We'll move on.
Yeah.
Anybody from the committee have any comments, questions?
Okay, I just have one question. My only question is,
Yeah.
is the restaurant for 260 people, and that's a really active block, 57th Street, it's going to the West Side Highway. I'm just curious, is there a space in front of the restaurant that people can pull over and get out of cabs or out of their cars so they don't block the massive number of cars that use that entryway?
I remember, I mean, we did approve this. This is the second applicant there, the people who own Molly-Rose, who recently reopened at 43rd and 9. They, when you were initial applicant of this space, it was the same size. They had a slightly smaller sidebar cafe, which we approved. Obviously, they are not in business anymore, so I don't know if that's a reflection of lack of popularity, but we didn't hear any complaints. But I honestly don't know what the traffic is like.
Well, frankly, I didn't know.
Between 11 and the river. It's acceptable.
Yeah, so
it's huge sidewalk.
far, it's huge,
Sidewalk is really huge.
it's like 20-some feet.
Yeah, but I know we have a community member that wanted to speak, who raised his hand.
Yeah, is that near the movie theater?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right next door.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't noticed any problems, it's just that, I mean, I use that area a lot.
Mhm.
Well, I expect since the first restaurant didn't last very long, it was that popular, so.
Maybe the movie theater's going to open.
Yeah.
The movie theater is, I went there for the first time, it only has like 20 seats per theater.
Oh, that's a movie theater?
Yeah,
At somebody's house.
How many theaters?
I don't know, but I was there, like, oh, there's like 20 seats in
But
here.
they have a liquor license.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay, we have somebody known from the community.
I know we did.
Two people's hands are raised. Winsley,
I'm sorry, everyone. I am here, but I'm not sure if everyone's on speakerphone or what the case is, but I'm hearing a lot of reverberation. I'm happy to answer any direct questions that you might have. I just want to ensure that I hear them clearly before I do so.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna hear from the community now.
now can you bring Winsley over again? And somebody else has a hand raised?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for letting me join this. So I've been a tenant for the VFFSM building for the past 6 years, going on 7. And the reason why I want to join this today, because I have several concerns I wanna address. I've seen the past two restaurants open and close during my stay here in the VF57. Now, my question to the owners are like, how can they ensure and reinforce noise reduction, especially definitely around the building? Because the restaurant is situated right below the study room, which I kind of use to finish my notes. Like, I'm a medical professional, so that's where I use my time through, like, because it's quiet in the study room. Hardly anyone uses it. How can they reduce the noise reduction? around the area. The traffic between like the 57th, 58th Street driveway, which can be high volume because there's also a parking garage right in front of between Helena building and West View 57 as well. Okay, so that's my main concern. And also given the fact that I live in the 58th Street side, and I live on the 3rd floor, so I can hear all the sounds from the cars, especially like given the fact that when they open up the theater building, you have multiple people just hanging out on 58th Street playing their loud music, and I can hear it. And my hours are very valuable, so it doesn't let me sleep.
Wait, you're on 58th Street?
So I live on, so my apartment is situated right on 58th Street. Because like the VA building encompasses like 57th and 58th Street.
Okay, and you're hearing people from 57? Is there some?
No, so what they do is like, since the theater opened, people use like 58th Street as a parking garage. And they play multiple loud musics nonstop, especially during the weekends.
So these are people going to the movie theater, you think?
Most likely because I can see them like walking out and going around, especially when I walk my dog around midnight.
So it's really the cars on 58 that are bothering you, not like
The
people
noise.
not people going to the movie theater or the.
Well, like most likely here and say, and the litter has got like how can they ensure like the cleanliness around the restaurant? And
Yeah.
then
Did you have any issues with the prior restaurant there?
no, because their hours of operation were much earlier than this that's proposed, and they didn't have any live DJs or loud music playing.
Okay, well, this applicant doesn't want live music or DJs. They only want background music as well.
But they want outdoor seating.
Yeah, well, the other one has.
According to their posting, established with a DJ, recorded music, and a sidewalk cafe.
Wait, am I on the right?
For City Tavern and Tablet LLC.
Yeah, City Tavern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
a restaurant establishment with a DJ, recorded music, and sidewalk cafe.
Where do they,
I don't, it's background.
where do they say that?
I don't think that it's funny.
No, well, we can confirm with the applicant, the only music you want is background music,
Yeah,
correct?
that's all they circled.
Applicant? I don't know who's speaking to.
We do not intend to have a DJ. If at some point we felt the business model would be better with one, then we would of course pursue the board's permission and the liquor authority's permission and sort of update the application.
Yeah, but
But
right
we do
now,
not intend on opening with a DJ.
Right now, there's no music.
just background music,
Just
Correct.
correct? Okay.
Okay, and then
So
it
Wesley,
seems
there's only background music, Wesley.
only background music. Okay, and the hours of operation with the music would be until 2 a.m. Is that correct?
on the weekends, Friday and Saturday.
But again, we're only talking about background music.
Right, but would that noise level be extenuated? Like, would the noise or music be would that extend to the like can be heard outside of it? Is that loud that like it can disrupt?
Background music.
Because our glass walls are not that insulated at all, especially when the library is right above the restaurant.
Did you hear the last tenant
Yeah.
there before? Did you hear the last tenant that was there making noise from your apartment?
No, because
Music?
they didn't have that loud music because I used to go there to eat as well.
Right, they have the same thing, they have background music, that's very low
Okay.
conversational
That's
music.
what all that.
Yeah, that's what background means,
Background music.
below the conversation level,
Okay,
basically.
all right. I think that's great then.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Java?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for this committee. I basically have two questions. Winsley already raised some of the concerns, which is the loud music. I want to focus on two things. One is the volume of people coming in. I know in the beginning somebody mentioned about the cars coming in between 57 and 58, but this is really a big concern since this restaurant, I believe it says 235 people at most.
I believe our legal occupancy is 260 persons.
Yeah, so that's a big concern since we already feel the district being busier because of the theater, and we see cars stopping in a dangerous way. We have a kindergarten right over there with people walking. It's kind of concerning driving habits to the cinema. So I just can assume it's going to be the same for the restaurant. So that's the first.
Sorry. I'm sorry. What's the question?
So the question is, what is the solution for that? What is going to happen with the car stopping or dedicated space for spot stopping? How is it going to prevent from people stopping in the driveway, which is for the residents to get off and on taxis or their cars? What is the solution for that?
Well, until we're operating, I don't really have a solution for that. I can certainly give it some thought. What I would say is if the problem exists already, then it's going to behoove me to try to get the coordination and the cooperation of my neighbors, the theater, and any other surrounding business that is already leading to the traffic concern, and see what sort of solution we can come up with, whether it's valet parking or something of that nature. What I would say as far as our concept, we are targeting the neighborhood. And so I don't envision a lot of people driving to our destination. I envision a lot of parents with strollers and a lot of local residents, walking from a block or two, an avenue or two, and coming. I don't see it being like an out-of-city destination where people are going to be pulling up in cars.
All right.
If you would.
Okay, thank you. My second concern is the restaurant is right on the corner of the building, basically, which is also the entrance to the building. It mentions in the application that it's going to be a sidewalk cafe. The sidewalk is very narrow there. It's already crowded to walk. If you walk your dog, if you walk with your friends, it's just crowded over there. I would just want to know how far will the sidewalk cafe go?
You're talking about the side street, or are you talking about along
57?
Are you talking in between 57th and 58th, or on 57th?
On 57, sir.
Okay, so last I was there a week or two ago, it's a very wide sidewalk. So what I would say is, to start, I propose whatever is legal and whatever governs the sidewalk cafe is what we would propose. And then if for some reason that's not working well for us and or the neighbors, and we're fielding concerns, then we could certainly consider reducing the width of the sidewalk cafe.
And is the intention to do it from the corner down or a little bit further down with the restaurant? Is it on the corner of the sidewalk, the pathway between Helena to Via?
What I would say is what makes good sense to me is probably from our doorway heading west, nothing to the east of the doorway, because I would agree with you that with the driveway and the entrance to the corporate business there, that's a tighter area.
Okay, so basically from you guys to the next cafe next to you. Okay.
Any
Yeah,
sidewalk cafe,
towards the coffee shop.
Yeah,
any sidewalk cafe has to have at least 8 feet unobstructed on the sidewalk plus 3 feet for service. And that includes
Planters. in the
trees,
middle of
whatever
the
is there.
Sidewalk.
So you have to take that into consideration. Okay, I see, Nellie, you have somebody else in the community?
thank you so much.
Thank you. Susie Darling?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, hi, I'm Susie Darling. And I live in Via in the building, and I actually live on the 3rd floor as well. I live right above where this is going to be. And I'm really excited. And I just want to say also, the sidewalk is very, very large right there. And our glass windows are completely insulated. And I'm outside on my terrace all the time. And the biggest noise is the Department of Sanitation, which is right across the street. And I'm really excited and wish the best of luck to these owners.
Can I ask a question in this person? Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Looking at a Google picture from probably a year ago, there are a bunch of planters across the front. Are those still there in the middle of the sidewalk, or are they gone? Is that
The
really
planters,
old?
the planters are actually now all kind of stacked together in front of the coffee shop because they're not really being used. They use a couple of them for the coffee shop to have an outdoor seating. So they're just right there, still kind of on the sidewalk, but not outlining anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Susie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments?
Thank you, Susie.
Question, on just their application, I was looking at it, says that there's no vestibule, but in their blueprint, it says there is.
Vestibule.
Yeah, it does look like it. Well,
I just didn't know which entrance, that's gonna be their main entrance, or they have 3, I don't know about doors, but
so Frank, the question is, do you have an internal vestibule when people enter between the street and the restaurant, which we like, but you have one? Okay.
Yes,
so
there's an exterior door that you come through from the sidewalk. You step into a foyer or a vestibule, and then you go through another door where you're greeted by the host.
Okay, so we're gonna, on the form, you answered the question no about having a vestibule, so I'm gonna change the answer to yes, because you do have one.
Yes,
Okay.
please, and thank you. Sorry for that oversight.
Any additional questions, comments?
No, but there's solution. You see how that, if they're gonna do a sidewalk cafe, they have to move those planters, they're not supposed to be there anyway. You know what I mean? It is a wide sidewalk, but
Right.
that's a row of planters down the middle and splitting the sidewalk.
Okay, well, we'll just say, okay, well, I have to do that.
Okay.
Okay. So Frank is going to summarize some of the all the stipulations that we have.
Okay, so the issue is for the sidewalk seating, what we want is there has to be an 8-foot pedestrian clear path. So 8 feet kept empty, and then another 3 feet that you're using what's called the service aisle, where your staff is going to serve people. So that has to be empty. And then we would want 8 feet clearance from all tree pits, planters, or other obstructions. So we were just looking at the photos where there are these big planters there now. So if the planters are there, you either have to make sure there's 8-foot clearance around them, or you're gonna have to move the planters. Is that okay?
Fully understood. I operate in the West Village where the sidewalks are significantly tighter. and we will do everything that is required.
Okay, but what I'm saying, well, I'm not saying, we don't know, as you probably heard, we don't know what the new rules are yet. So what we're asking is that regardless of the rules, you agree that 8-foot clearance around the obstructions, and then the 8-foot pedestrian path, and the 3-foot service aisle. Those are the old rules.
Yes.
Those are the sidewalk rules. So you'll agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, and then we're gonna need you to submit a revised floor plan, showing the width of the sidewalk and any obstructions and all these distances we just talked about. Okay, can you do that by August 25th?
Absolutely.
Okay. So again, what we want is something that shows the sidewalk is 20 feet wide. Here are our tables, they're taking up 4 feet. Here's the service aisle. You know, here are the tree pits and showing any obstructions, okay?
Yes, understood.
Okay.
Okay. By the way, Nellie, I see you have your hand up. Is there a reason?
Yes, they will also need to submit an amended 30-day notice because the original 30-day notice did indicate that they wanted a DJ on it, and that's why the notice that they posted had DJ on it. That's where the gentleman earlier was referring to.
Okay.
Showed DJ. That's where I got the information from, was from the 30-day notice.
Is that something I handle with my liquor attorney?
Yes.
Okay,
So again,
that'll be taken care of.
But just so we're clear, you are only applying for background music now, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so that's what has to change on the notice. So we'll add a stipulation that you will do that by
The 25th.
August 25th as well.
Okay.
Yes, understood.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to incorporate the stipulations?
With those stipulations.
And the second? Second. And then all those in favor? Aye. I see your hands up. Good.
Yeah.
Opposed, present not eligible? Okay, abstaining, thank you. Okay, moving to item number 7 on our agenda. Item number 7 is 317 West 46th Street, Food Affairs Inc. Okay, hours of operation, Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 12, Friday and Saturday, 11 to 1 a.m. You have an attorney, I have an applicant.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Good evening, committee members, Nellie, Jesse, fellow participants. My name is Anthony Caraballo. I'm the representative for the applicant Food Affairs. Jude Rodriguez is also on the call. This establishment is located at 317 West 46th Street between 8th and 9th. A brief history on the premises. There's been licenses there going back at least 20 years. It was the formerly Scarlato's, and prior to that, it was Bistecca Fiorentino. They all had full liquor licenses. The hours of operation are 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Thursday and 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Friday. Relatively small space with 15 tables and 60 seats. There is a bar with 8. There is outdoor seating, and it's a recessed building, so it's part of the building envelope. It's within the property. So this projected 6 tables and 12 to 14 seats there. I believe when I researched the Google photos that the prior occupants also utilized this seating as well. So for the last 2 decades or so, there's been some seats outside. Little history on Jude, very good operator. He has 2 other establishments in Manhattan, also called Spice Symphony. He has a premises at 182 Lexington. That's CB5. He's been there for over a decade. Good operator, well received. He also has another establishment at 150 East 50th Street. That's CB6. He's been there since 2017, 6 years. So now he's going to be CB4, 5, and 6. I'm not sure sequentially where he's going to go. It's going to be 8 or 8. I think I'd advise him to do 8. It might be a little easier. Jude is a good operator. He's no violations of the SLA, no issues whatsoever. The cuisine is Indian and Chinese fusion. It's on the unique side. And we'd be delighted to address any the committee might have. I think he'll be a welcome addition to this area. Thank you so much.
I have a question because I live in the neighborhood, so I walked by there today. Is this a residential building? Do you know who's above you? And if it is residential, did you reach out to the people who live in the building?
So we were under the gun on this one because we wanted to get, Jesse and I corresponded. Nellie was on vacation. So we got all the paperwork in just last week. So we submitted the required emails to the block associations. They weren't returned or responded to. Jude, if you want to interject on the type of building, who is above you?
So there's a couple of tenants. There's a tenant on the first floor. There's a tenant on the second floor, I believe. And we've pasted the posters on the front of the establishment and on the lampposts on the streets as well. So,
Yeah, so the problem poster on the front of the establishment is it's on the door to the restaurant, and which is set back, and the gate to the patio there in front is locked. So you can't actually read the sign from the sidewalk, because I tried to do that today and I couldn't. So, anyone living there does not necessarily know, that you're applying. So I at least would like you to make some attempts to reach out to the actual people living there and tell them what you have planned. Can you do that? Can you do that in the next week or so?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'd add,
Okay.
it has been a restaurant there for over 20 years, so it's not going to be with liquor licenses. It probably won't be a surprise for them, given that block as well. But we will be glad to reach out. Jude, if you could reach out to those tenants. And what will be the protocol? You want us just to tell you we reached out to them and what their response was?
Yeah, just try to do it and let us know by April 25th. And that could include that, and maybe you could try putting a sign, I don't know, like directly on the door or something. But it's my only concern is that you really can't read that sign given that the gate is locked.
That's fair.
So-
This is Restaurant Road, right?
Yeah.
Restaurant.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah, they know.
They know it's
They
gonna
know
happen.
where they move.
They know where they're living. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
They're not like this.
Glad to comply. We're glad to comply. It's a reasonable request.
Okay, any comments, questions from the committee?
I have a comment, on their open space, does it say, do they have actual measurements? Because it's not a very big patio.
Yeah, I would be surprised if
That's
they
why I'm looking.
fit that
at
many
it.
seats,
Exactly.
but because it's private property,
It's on their property.
and, the real issue is they have to give space to get to their front door. And once you do that, I don't see how you fit that many tables, but
Okay.
that's really their concern. A lot of people, very few people actually use those tables on Restaurant Row. They more just sit there and, sort of almost advertising, because they're never very pleasant. So, my view is that, that number doesn't bother me. If they want to try to squish it in, that's
Okay,
fine, but I agree, I don't think they're gonna fit.
okay, I was just looking, I was like, that's a lot, that little space.
Okay, any other comments, questions? Anybody from the community, Ally?
There's no one.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
and is there a second? Okay, in favor? Opposed, present not eligible, abstaining, it passes, thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Everybody enjoy the rest of the
Okay, the last item on our agenda tonight. I guess that must be you, Frank. Huh?
Hello, guys. How
Item number 8, 111 West 24th Street.
Bernardo, you got to unmute?
Yes, I am unmuted. Should I show my pretty face too, Frank?
I've seen it. It's no big deal. Hello, Bert, Frank. Hello, committee. How are you guys?
Okay.
So we have a karaoke lounge at the premises formerly occupied by Montauk Carpet. I shouldn't say lounge, it's a restaurant also. 6 p.m. to 2 a.m., 7 days a week with no outdoor areas.
Anything else you want?
Sorry?
Anything else you want to add to that, Frank?
Not really.
Frank, what's above this? What kind of building is this?
The current building is an office building, is located right next to the Hilton Motel Hotel.
There's a hotel right now.
Okay, but there are no residential units above you?
No, no residential.
Did you guys post signs and send out the usual emails, Frank?
Yes. Definitely.
Okay. Any questions, comments from the committee?
Previously licensed?
No, the right store.
The right store.
It was a carpet store.
Carpet store.
I'm sorry, it looks residential.
Yeah, it is a residential block.
I'm
so
looking
it is.
at the.
Yeah, my friend, no, my friend lives down there. There are
Yeah, there's
residents
some residences.
on that side.
No, I was asking immediately above,
Above.
because it was immediately above, and we really wanted to.
There's three hotels up.
Got it.
There are three hotels.
I just didn't know above, because like I said, I know like she lives above, like a nail salon, and then there's residential, there's, you know.
There's
But
right next door on the south side of the street, there's a hotel. There's a hotel on the north side of
You
the
can
street.
actually, they actually did a good job putting it on their like 7th or 8th page of their
I
application.
think there's a car rental.
Yeah, there's an enterprise.
Yeah, they have a nice description of everything.
Yeah. Okay, so other than that, I saw some grimaces on people's faces, or because of the time of night, or people are hungry.
All of the above.
All of us, you know. Anybody from the community,
So.
Yes,
There's
not?
no one with the raised hand.
Okay.
What's the sound situation? Sorry. Is
Just ask a question about sound.
it DJ karaoke? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ could find to the basement, Frank.
Do we ever approve this stuff without sound studies? No, we do.
Wait,
Okay.
but this is Vine Street. I just want to make sure.
It's really like.
Here,
Two AM.
here's all of this, the residents is a little bit further down, and then
Yeah.
like you said, like commercial, and commercial. There's residential, on the other side of commercial, but like,
I mean, yeah,
Sure.
No, there's.
I mean, I'm a little surprised we haven't heard from anyone.
Yeah, me too.
I'm surprised, what do you put all block associations on CB, but can you guys tell us who you reached out
I don't think there's a
to?
block
Which ones? There aren't any over there.
And
Yeah.
maybe some tech.
Frank provided a list and I emailed everyone. One person did respond with some questions and I already addressed the questions.
What were their questions? Can I ask?
I would have to search them through my emails, but I'll get them to you right now, yes.
Frank, you're muted.
No, it's the applicant that's talking.
I know, but Frank was
No,
trying to
that
say
was,
something.
thank you. And I was trying to speak. How are you? We notified everyone on the email blast that the community board recommended.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there are any block associations over there, so you probably email people who don't care.
And there may be tenants associations on that, the Sixth Avenue.
Right, that we don't know about, right?
But Bernardo, are you gonna tell us what questions the person who wrote back to you had?
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up on my email now. There were just like three general questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to search it now. I'll get it to you shortly. Hold on one second.
I just.
Do you remember what he asked or what they asked or?
I should remember, yes, but it'll be just 1 minute here, just pulling it up.
If I could fill in some time while he's looking, I just want to mention to you, someone mentioned a sound study. This premise.
I have it here. It was Melissa Stern. She asked, she was asking, so essentially you're proposing a karaoke I said the space will be a high-end karaoke lounge with F&B offering, with private rooms, as well as the main stage, and there will be no instruments included. She wanted to know if there was some live music. We will not have live music. They asked if we would be serving food. Yes. If we would have outdoor space. The answer is no. And she was asking about soundproofing, and for us, soundproofing is extremely important. So we're working with a very, very high-end sound engineer, because all the private rooms need to be confined and music cannot come out. So yes, we are addressing that as well.
But if it's actually a karaoke place, it's just a weird application because it comes in as a restaurant, and it's like, what's this?
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, that's very helpful, thank you. I mean, yeah, for the business to operate effectively, they need to soundproof all the different rooms, so that's.
I feel good about making a motion to approve.
Yeah.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed, those not eligible, abstaining, it goes forward to the full board.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
All right, thank you, guys. I appreciate your time tonight.
Guys, enjoy the rest of the summer. See you in the fall.
Okay.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
So Jesse, what is it? Karaoke, so. Does that mean everybody, you want to do it in Zoom, I can do it in mine?
Yeah, people read their, people read their, you're gonna karaoke, yeah, you